soul's conquest. Moral of the story is, this is a story, an analogy that I shared on one of the podcasts that I was guesting on, where I spoke about how anxiety and overthinking usually feels. And we've all been anxious at one point of time or not, especially during the pandemic. And it often feels very weird and exhausting because you have the same thoughts repeating over and over and over. And they increase in noise and volume as you go ahead, ignoring the anxiety or just going through the anxiety phase. So here's what the story is. I want you to imagine that you have an empty tin can. Um, you can have a can that is something that you got your canned tomatoes in, or you get fruits and vegetables and anything, just an empty tin can. Let's just say you have an empty tin can and you put a small marble inside it. You put this marble in and you hear a sound. Ton is dropped in. Now when you're anxious, basically what happens is you take this tin can and shake it a lot, and the marble keeps rolling and rolling and rolling, and you keep hearing noise constantly over and over and over and over and over again. And it gets annoying. It gets distressing because there's a sound that is not stopping. And the more you try to be like, oh my God, I don't have anxiety, the more loudly it shakes. And the more you are like, oh my God, I can't deal with this right now, I'm just going to ignore it. Or the more you are like completely in avoidance of the issue, that you're not trying to fix the source. You are not trying to fix why the tin can is shaking so much. You're just like, I'm ignoring it, avoiding it, and eventually I'll get over it. You will get over it. Once your hand stops paining, you'll put the tin can down and you'll be like, okay, yeah, there you go, no more sound. And after a few hours, you'll pick it up again and be like, shake it. You don't know why you're shaking it. An anxious person half of the time doesn't know why they're shaking it, but they still shake it. And the sound keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on, and you keep getting annoyed. But here's the deal. If you take that tin can with the marble inside it, after shaking it vigorously, you go and you put it down. Voluntarily, you put it down. You accept that you have a tin can in your hand. You accept that there's a marble that you put inside and it's rolling on and on and on again. As long as you shake the can, it's going to shake, it's going to make some noise. You accept all of that and you put the tin can down away from your hands and you step back and you look at it. How long is that tin can, or how long is that sound going to keep coming on? How long is that marble going to roll inside the tin can? A few seconds, a minute, a couple of minutes at the max. When you leave it, you accept it, you acknowledge it, and you let it be, and you step back. You create distance between yourself and the reason why you're feeling anxious, and you step back, not in ignorance, but in acceptance. You step back and you look at it and you observe it and you try to understand it. You try to understand why this tin can exist. You try to understand why there's a marble. You don't need to do this in one day. I know it's extremely difficult to get rid of your anxiety in one day. If that was the situation, I would be somewhere else. I am not. I'm still an anxious person. And this comes from my personal experiences. There is a lot of power in hitting pause, moving back, and observing, accepting, acknowledging. Not in the same order, obviously. But there is a lot of power in that. That tin can is going to stop rumbling. That sound is going to stop. It just needs acceptance and acknowledgement. Once you acknowledge it, once you accept it, you are one step closer to understanding it, understanding the reason behind your triggers, understanding the reason behind your anxiety. A new level of awareness kind of settles in, and you are much more in tune with yourself, in alignment with yourself and the environment that you're living in. And that awareness is going to be so much more amazing and miraculous, because sometimes you keep shaking the tin can even when you don't want to. But if you are aware, you don't even know sometimes that you're shaking the tin can. It's just happening in the background, and you're like, something is disturbing me today. I have no idea what is that, but I just have this annoying voice in my head, annoying sound in my head. But knowing that something can trigger you, knowing that this could be a potential reason for feeling anxious, it creates awareness. You'll eventually understand that you have the tin can in your hand and you need to put it down and step back. Awareness is knowing that you have the tin can in your hand and you're shaking it. So, yeah, the moral of the story is to hit pause. Hit pause, acknowledge, accept, and create awareness around a problem that you're facing. Because that is the only way to solve the problem. Let me leave you with that. Ignoring a problem is not a solution. It is never a solution. And so the moral of this story resonates with the moral of previous story, which is to hit pause, step back, acknowledge, accept, and create awareness around it. I hope this helped you. I am extremely eager to hear your opinions and whether you have a tin can of your own and a marble of your own. What is it? Reach out to me. I would love to know your story and help you if I can. Super excited. See you another time.